All right, what's going on, guys? This is Restless Corpse.
And this is Providence.
Yes, he was doing something. And this is a VirtualBromance Live, Episode 7. We took not only a week off, but then we changed our time, so it was kind of like a week and a half off.
You're right, man. You really can't see the dogs playing poker in the background. I really need to fix that up and make it a little cooler.
Well,
well, you can see that one dog in the middle. He looks like he's really gonna pull something really amazing.
Yeah, and you can see this dog's cards down under the thing there.
Under our logo there, yeah.
But hopefully we'll be able to fix that by having the real thing in the shot when we have the HQ going.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a pretty exciting prospect that we're really on the precipice of. And I did actually say in our post about in the post that I put up while we were getting set up to promo this episode, I kind of said that one of the things we're going to talk about tonight is some of our amazing plans for awesome things that we're going to do.
Good idea, because to tell you the truth, I don't have much to talk about.
Yeah, well, things have been complicated. I mean,
there's literally one game I've been playing all this time, which I will be talking about.
Oh, I know you have, because you've been talking about
Other than the games for like the 3-65 games.
Oh. Yeah. I've been playing a bunch of random stuff, and that's a whole other bag of cats, I guess, as it were. But
But before we get into the gaming stuff, I want to point out that we had a show last night.
I also said that we were going to talk about that a little bit.
So why don't we talk about that?
It's been about a minute since we played. I mean, we hadn't gone out to do a live show since May, when we went up for Blake's wedding.
Right.
It was the last one, and
Green Bay, Wisconsin, bitches.
Yeah, and prior to that, I think that it had been fall or something. We didn't do anything early in the year, did we?
Down in Chicago, the Livewire show, maybe.
Was the last one we did the Assemblage 23 show?
Yeah, wasn't that like...
That was like November,
July?
September, November. No, it was fall.
Oh, no, we did do one in July down in the same...
That was end of June that we did the
Electronic Saviors 2.
Electronic Saviors 2 promo show, and which anybody watching the show who doesn't know, Electronic Saviors is it's a compilation put together by a guy named Jim Simonik, who's based in Philadelphia, who does a lot of promotion there, and he's in a band called Reinforced. They're also on WT2 Records along with us. We were on the second edition of Electronic Saviors. Both first and second edition was put together. Jim is a cancer survivor, and all of the proceeds from Electronic Saviors 1 and 2 go to some, I don't remember what it is. It all goes to cancer charities, cancer research charities and stuff, which... It's a fantastic cause, and really, you get like an amazing variety of great artists on there. I mean, we put a track on that I still think is one of the best songs I've ever worked on.
Yeah.
And there's just I had a guest vocal on Patricia Wake's songs along with Dan and Lane and Joe Lex, and that was a big.
There were a lot of people up there.
Yeah, but so. We were promoting that back in June, and then we played with Assemblage 23 in September, I think it was, at Livewire again. But since then, I mean, I feel like there should have been another one after that, but maybe there wasn't. I mean, we went through those changes.
We changed the lineup.
Yeah, like Rusty left, and we shifted Dan over from keys to guitar, and then.
Which was a great idea, by the way.
Yeah, which is a fantastic idea. And then we got Brian Gropner of the Gothsicles in on keys, who will be... is it next week we're going to have him on the show with us?
Yeah. Well, that's when we talked about it. It's all up to his schedule.
His schedule, his availability. Yeah, we're going to have Brian Gropner on the show to talk about some gaming stuff.
Because, the Gothsicles are more popular than we are.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So they do a lot of shows.
Yeah, Brian's a popular guy, but he's a good friend of ours. Obviously, he's in the band with us. But like doing this Green Bay show back in May, it was our first show with that lineup, and it was our first show using an in-ear monitor rig, so it was a little bit
weird,
field testy. Plus, someone forgot to bring their equipment to the show, and there were a lot of other stressful things that went on. So
let's move on.
But so last night was like the first real opportunity to see how well we meshed. I think we had a really good time. I think people were trying to kill us though. Like the beers and the shots, and it just the drinks just kept coming to the stage. Which
speaking of, dude, I had a horrible hangover today. Like horrible hangover.
But sometimes that happens. I apparently rocked out extra hard because I feel like I was doing sit-ups all night last night because my abdominal muscles are completely like hamburger fucking sore as hell.
Yeah.
Like I've never had physical like abdominal pain from an epic singing performance, but apparently I did that last night, which is great. And you and I got to like stand at the front of the stage for the whole set with Dan and Brian in the back, so we got to really rock out. Not a lot of pictures. It wasn't a huge turnout, but it was a fun night. I'm pretty stoked about future shows. Yeah. Control was a kick-ass band. They were, it's not really your kind of thing, but they were good.
Well, I mean, we talked about that. But regardless of whether or not it's my kind of thing, they're talented. They play what they want to play really well.
Right.
I didn't dislike it. I mean,
you just didn't get like crazy about it, which is totally okay.
Right. But they're great guys. They were fun to hang out with afterwards too.
Yeah, they were all really, really nice people, and I'm really hoping to get them back in the city sometime soon. But yeah, I think that as much as it feels like we're sort of straying from our regular topics to talk about this kind of stuff, I mean, I think that
it's part of VirtualBromance. So.
Right, I think that the band is a key element. I think that it really plays into a lot of the things that we're doing, and we do our rehearsal, we do a live show. I mean, that's bonding time. You can't really fabricate that otherwise, or imitate it in any other way.
Yeah,
it's hard to find an excuse that good to spend that much time drinking that much beer. But yeah, I mean, it was a good time. I'm glad that we did it. I'm pretty stoked to do it again. What the hell else did I say we were going to talk about? I mean, you've been hitting the notes. I almost want to test you. Oh yeah, some things that we have planned. I mean, I know that we're moving. We're going to be moving this week, which hopefully that means that everything will be set up for next week's broadcast.
We're moving tomorrow, so we have pretty much a whole week to get everything set up. But the whole layout's going to change of the show.
We'll be sharing one camera instead of.
We'll be sitting on the Bromance blue couch.
Yeah, our Bromance blue couch. I may change.
Mic.
Right, I may change the color scheme for the whole thing because it's going to be the blue couch. I may try to theme everything off of that.
Well, remember, I was thinking what we're going to do is just blow the camera out,
full screen it,
the camera, and then we'll overlay the information. But.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's a blue leather couch. That's pretty exciting. Who doesn't like that?
Love seat.
Love seat, yeah, which actually more ideal given the circumstances. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I mean, I'm struggling to find the time.
Our bromance is actually more than just virtual. I'm just throwing that out there.
I'm struggling to find the time this week to really coordinate an effective move, but I think I'm gonna have to figure it out. I mean, oh, look at this guy who's in the chat there.
Oh, what's up, Tony? Sweet. Big guy.
So yeah, I mean, I have to buy some furniture. I have my new job, which basically has devoured all of my free time in a scary, scary way that basically means that when I get out of work, I am completely brain dead, which is really affecting my ability to like play games as well, which is kind of why I've been doing a lot of the gaming stuff that I've been doing, which is weird, sort of like mindless stuff. Unfinished business, as it were. I don't think of it as much of as a shame pile as it is like this is something I can do without having to think too much about it. So yeah, I mean, hope we can do this shit effectively and get it done. I don't want to be still trying to shuffle bullshit around. I mean, obviously, I expect I'll still be moving stuff out of my storage locker, but I want to be pretty much set up by next weekend. We'll be eating everything off of paper plates because I don't have any dishes.
What's kind of important to note is that we're not going to have internet for a while.
A couple of days.
Yeah. So that's kind of so that's kind of going to affect my 365 games thing.
I think that people will understand as long as you can,
Right.
on first day back, upload all those videos.
No, well, I suppose I could, but I decided that I'm not going to ever like pre-record a video and upload on a different day because it's kind of cheating.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna have to take breaks. Like I took a break last weekend and didn't upload any videos until Sunday, and I was gonna, upload them all at the same day. But then I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna be doing this for a year, so I'm gonna have to take a break once in a while. So
I don't know, man. I don't think Rusty ever takes a break on his Black Ops 2 straight through shenanigans.
yes, well, I know for a fact that he also pre-records sometimes. And I just don't want to
Zing!
well, that's not a zing. I mean, I hope I didn't ruin his thing, but
You've shattered
and he's also
the
had
suspension of disbelief.
he's also
for
had
Rusty.
some of his his guys do the video and the commentary, like when he
Well,
was sick.
that is cheating. That's
Well, I
shenanigans.
don't think he's doing it as a challenge. He's just doing it to have content every day.
Yeah.
And mine's not necessarily a challenge either, because if it was, I would have already failed with my break. But,
True.
But what I'm trying to do is just get more content on the channel. And,
Right on. Oh.
And I was thinking about this today. I was gonna say you need to help me out a little more, but I can't really fault you because you have this new job and you've been really busy.
Yeah, I wish I did I did that Deadpool review, which I was really happy about. I even though I rendered it at the lower fucking quality video by accident, but
your first video, man, it's okay.
yeah. And I really like doing it, and I'd like to do a lot more of those. But I mean, right now everything's a little bit chaotic. I'm thinking probably once we get past mid-August, it'll level out to a little bit more realistic. Like my schedule will become very consistent and the same. And Tony, you should go watch the review I did of Deadpool. It's on our YouTube channel, which you can find at the link at the bottom of the screen there. I don't know if you watched it already, but it's a quick review. I think it was an 8-minute video or something like that. I thought I did a pretty decent job. I know a lot of people are a lot more critical of the game, but as a fan of the comics, I think that I really touched on the things that were important about the fact that it was fun. I got kind of to the end of the game and stopped playing because I was like, okay, they're just throwing lots of shit at me that basically is forcing me to get a lot of skill tokens to level everything up. So
Yeah.
I don't want to do this right now,
Right.
which is one of the complaints about the game. But up until that point, I was having a good time.
So yeah, so like I said, we're gonna be without it in a couple days, which isn't gonna affect the show any because we have we changed the slot. Otherwise, we would have been able to do a show this week.
Change the slot, bitches.
Word. But next show is the layout's just like we said, gonna be completely different. Which is going to be weird because that's the show we're putting Brian on. We'll have to have him in a little square down in the corner or something.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
It is very much like God of War, Tony. Good call. Good comparison. Not as serious as God of War, obviously, because it's Deadpool.
All right, so John, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I told you about how well, like I said, the last couple weeks I was working on all the Deadpool stuff, and I was trying to get that done. There was all the DLC for Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance was on sale, so I bought it all. So that means that I get to do like Jetstream Sam and the Wolf DLC, Blade Wolf DLC and stuff. I haven't done it yet.
Speaking of things that we're going to be doing, I kind of want to do an us sit down playthrough of that because you said that it's kind of tough for you.
Yeah, it's not my kind of game. It's very difficult for me. Comboing and stuff like that.
I think that would be a good video for us to do because we can get some pretty candid moments of you.
And are we also
going
going
to?
You actually still plan to make me do the Alan Wake thing, don't you?
Oh yeah, of course.
Son of a bitch. Okay, so I bought those, got them for like less than half price, 60 or 70% off. So I was like, okay, I'll just buy this real quick. I don't have time to do it right now, but I will later. And the game's good. I like it. It's just frustrating because I'm not good at that kind of game. So I did things like I was unpacking everything up in boxes to move, and I had hooked my Wii up, so I was like checking out like things that I could buy from WiiWare. I played a little bit of the original NES Zelda. I played all the way through past the first Dark World dungeon in Link to the Past in one sitting while Josh was here last week, which was one of those like I need to do something I don't have to really think about. I'm just really good at and just like disconnect my brain for it. I played a little bit of original Metroid. I played a little bit of Other M and was like, dude, the lighting sucks. The controls are fucking wonky, and this game makes me mad.
That's what everybody said. I haven't played it because it got bad reviews, but
all of that shit
from
is
people that I
accurate.
trust. Not. I didn't just go to like the IGN or something and say, "Oh, this game sucks." But people that I trust have told me it's not that good.
And I also did the thing that I was telling you about when we were talking about your video that you had recorded with Pastic, which was in packing up all of my games, I came across my copy of Armored Core 4 Answer, and put it in. It was like, fuck yeah, Armored Core. I'm gonna totally fucking go like just take out Spirit of Motherwill real quick or something, which we're gonna do. And I put the game in, and I spent about an hour and a half. Looking at all of my custom builds, AC testing them, doing like zooming out and panning around them to make sure they look awesome. Yeah. Started working on like comparing stats and building a new custom build, and then I was like, all right, sounds good, and I turned the game off.
Yeah.
Which every couple months I do it because I think with Armored Core games, as we always say, it's really, really important to make sure that the mech looks badass.
Right, with the one shoulder pad and
right,
like
almost to a fault.
Down
like
the
it needs, yeah. Well, I always do the one different colored arm.
The opposite of the shoulder blade, or
yeah. No, I think it's the one with the arm blade always has the different color, and I do all kinds of stuff that's really standard. But then I did something that you're gonna give me shit about.
Put on easy?
No.
Okay.
Come on. No, I played another
game. We
game.
hear VirtualBromance never play a game on easy.
No, that's ridiculous.
It's the easy way out, if you will.
Wait, unless it's like Ninja Gaiden Black, in which case I might put it on easy. No, I played a game. You're gonna yell at me. I played a game that I've been meaning to finish for a while, and when I loaded my game save on it, I realized that the last time I had played it was in near the end of October. Resident Evil 6.
You know what's funny is it's on the Steam sale, and I was like, maybe I should pick it up, and then I was like, no, I'm not gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
Although maybe I should just for the 365.
Yeah. Well, I played. Basically, what I did was I loaded up the game file, and I'm like, okay, well, I have no idea where I was, and we were trying to do that, playing through in the recommended order for all the chapters so that you can get the story chronologically.
I forgot all about that, yeah.
Right, and so I was like, I have no idea where I was in that list, so fuck it. I'm gonna finish Jake's campaign, and I realized that I finished that. Like I sat down and finished that in like 2 hours, less than 2 hours.
The whole campaign.
Jake's campaign, yeah. I had one chapter left in it, and then I went and I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll do Leon's campaign, and had about the same amount of time left in that. I had like the last boss fight, the last chapter is just a boss fight, and then so now I have Chris's campaign left and all of Ada's campaign. But you know, the things that I think one of the coolest things that I discovered is that do you remember I had told you back in December they put out a decent sized patch for the game,
right?
To adjust some gameplay elements, where they made a co-op option for Ada's campaign, and they made some camera adjustable camera options. I started the game up and started playing as it was already set, and played for half hour, 45 minutes, and just was getting destroyed. Like, I didn't realize that the enemies I was killing kept regenerating, because I'd blow them up a lot, and the pieces would be on the ground. And I didn't think much of it. I just thought there were just a lot of things wandering around this area.
Yeah.
But eventually I died, and I was like, man, it was way tough. Like, shit really snuck up.
Uh-oh. You froze, John. Yeah.
Ah! That face is rad.
Technical difficulties.
You're a blue screen.
Yeah, I know. What the fuck? Oh, I gotta do that.
You gotta turn your camera on, yeah.
All right.
I don't know what happened. I just dropped the call.
Commercial break.
No, so I realized, like, I went in and I couldn't figure out in the gameplay to how to adjust the camera settings. And it turns out I had to go to the main menu. So, like, after I got mad, after I died, I was like, what the fuck this? And then I was screwing around in the camera settings, and I realized that with adjustable camera settings, that the way they put them in there, like, you can zoom back really, really nice, and it makes that, like, stuff sneaking up on you from the sides and stuff, it goes away. It's no longer an element of the game, and it makes the gameplay like 100 times more fun.
Really though?
It makes such a difference.
Changing the camera makes it 100 times more fun.
I don't know about 100 times, but it makes it a lot more fun.
Like 37 more times fun.
Sure,
maybe?
sure.
Right.
Let's go that way. Like it takes that frustration of the clunkiness of the camera control. It takes it out of the game.
Right.
It
That's
really
not really what I didn't like about the game though.
Just
throwing that out there, you know.
Yeah, I mean the game
it was a pain in the ass because half your field of view was taken up by your character, and that was very annoying. So I can see how it would make it more fun because that was a big gripe of mine. So yeah maybe
it made it a lot more enjoyable. I'm really happy that they made that adjustment, and I like I said, I finished those 2 campaigns and over the course of 2 nights. And which is tough, being that I've been like falling asleep in my chair at like 11:30 every night because I'm so exhausted from all this setup and planning work at the new job. But and I'm like, well, screw it. I'm totally in the zone here. I'm gonna finish this. It's gonna happen. So like I'm gonna hit up the Ada. I'm gonna finish the Chris campaign, which I don't give a shit about at all because Chris has like turned into like the Incredible Hulk or something over the series.
Yeah. Like a juicer now.
Right, and he's got like really terrible hair in this game. Like, it's really like he's got it like combed down over his forehead in like a helmet cut thing.
He's got that dude bro haircut now.
Yeah, I suppose. Like I don't like that, but I'll hammer that out and then I'll do the Ada stuff. And it's kind of exciting to see that that I could revisit a game that was sort of a letdown. It was by no means Operation Raccoon City letdown, but it was sort of a letdown, and actually enjoy it. So I'm glad to be doing that.
Yeah.
And I went and I downloaded. I got all the. Oh shit! I got to do the last one, but I got all but the last of the week of class mods for Borderlands 2.
Oh right, I didn't get
yeah. They're all. I got them all at level 61 because I
any
love
of them any better than legendary?
There's it's a lot of but it's a lot of like increased
cool
magazine.
Names?
Yeah, I think so. It's a lot of increased magazine capacity and critical hit damage and stuff like that.
That actually brings up a question of mine. If you increase the capacity of the Infinity, does it break it?
No, it probably just keeps it static at 1. I don't know.
You didn't test it? You didn't look to see if it increased?
No, because as I said, I got all the class mods to when I put the codes in, I loaded them all on my 61 assassin.
Yeah.
And so they're all level 61 class mods.
No, because there's abilities like class.
It probably just caps out. It's fine. Yeah.
All right. So I guess the Infinity just can't go above 1 no matter what.
Yeah. But so that's the things that I've been doing. I mean, a lot of random Metroid games, a lot of WiiWare stuff. I played some.
Tony's all about Krieg.
Tony Krieg is my guy. I love Krieg.
Speaking of, we haven't done a 3 Psychos and a Lady in a long time.
It's true. It's very true. Poop Train Conductor is one of my favorite starting skins as well, Tony. It's an easy one to roll with. I like to use the Cybergoth head where he's got like the respirator and the like flopped over hair. Cybergoth head is totally where it's at. And now Randy Pitchford said that they're intending to do some more campaign DLC for Borderlands 2. So that's all very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Because we kind of had expected we had expected that it was done. All my my notification sounds on my phone are Krieg yelling things. I believe my text tone is nipple salads right now.
Nice.
I like to scrape the face from your fingernails, but there's so many things that he says.
Yeah, we could probably fill a show with all the funny shit he says.
Yeah. So we've got, and then someone found in the coding that there's actually campaign DLC for Colonial Marines coming out, which everybody else thinks it's so terrible, but we're gonna love it. We're
gonna play it, and like I said when we were talking about it at the show last night, maybe they sometimes in a DLC it's like it's part of the file is a lot more than just the DLC. Like it's overhauling a game.
Right, like I was saying, they had done this 4 gig patch for the PC version, but it never made it to the console version, and maybe that 4 gig texture map patch.
John.
What?
I hope I don't have to fucking sit there for hours downloading.
No, I know. But that texture map, that reskinning patch that they did for the PC, it did a lot of amazing things for the game.
The lighting because that.
Yeah, actually, the lighting was one of the main things that it did.
Did they fix the explosions looking like firecrackers?
You should watch the videos.
Okay.
You should look it up. It's pretty amazing. It made me wish that I had been playing it on PC instead of Xbox.
Did they take O'Neill out of the game?
No, sadly they did not.
I don't fucking give a shit then. I just don't
look,
give a
man,
shit.
as much as we may hate O'Neill, the game would be boring without him.
At least we got to kill the other girl.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, she died, but technically, she's dead.
Bella. Stupid Bella. Oorata ashes, Marine. Oorata ashes.
That fucking game. And you know what? As much as the game is horrible, we actually have fun playing it. It's ridiculous. So.
We have a lot of fun playing it. Except for the Raven. I'll never play that mission again. Except for when we try to get that achievement for fucking killing the thing. For killing it under a minute and a half or whatever. Which we're going to have to do.
Yeah, because it's a checkpoint system. So if you don't know if you got it until the end of the mission. So if we don't get it, we're going to have to play the entire fucking mission over again. Over and over and over until we fucking get it. Unless we have a stopwatch and we're like, okay, we have 10 seconds. It's not going to happen. Let's reload the checkpoint.
The least they could do is let us skip all the cinematics, and they don't even let us do that.
No, they don't. It's dumb. Ugh.
Yeah,
Right.
It's going to be pretty good.
I don't want to go off on a fucking Aliens Colonial Marines tangent.
Which, I think that what could really make the campaign DLC a lot better. I'm excited about it because when we finished the game, we said that the storyline, as much as people complain about it, it wasn't terrible, and it really did set up for some great campaign DLC. And if they did a good job with the campaign DLC, it would really make a lot of apologies for the rest of the game.
Right.
And now we sat through 2 fucking multiplayer DLC packs, and finally there's a campaign one coming out.
You know what they need to do? You know how in Resident Evil 6, randomly people could jump into your game as the enemy?
Agent mode?
Yeah, that would be fucking cool. Because the lurk, I guess it's called the lurker or something like that, one of the alien types where they can hold onto the wall and as someone passes by they can insta-kill them.
Yeah.
As much as that would suck for the human players, it'd be fucking awesome to actually not be we know there's guys around the corner here, so watch out for them.
I haven't used this phone in years.
Interesting. It's weird color, but all right. But let's take the Raven for example. We've played that so many times that we know where the enemies are. Mm-hmm. It would be fucking cool if just out of the blue
yes, that was Unit threesome.
In Resident Evil 6 they actually tell you when somebody jumps into your game. They should not do that.
Well,
so you're always on your toes.
That would be almost a massive apology for the cripplingly terrible AI problems.
Right. Yes. In any case, we weren't gonna go off on a Aliens Colonial Marines tangent. So let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
You playing charades over there with?
Yeah, pretty much. Sending Josh to take care of something for me. But yeah, so that's coming out. I mean, there's a number of things going on that I think. Given the slow time of year, I think we've got some, and the Summer of Arcade stuff that they announced looks really, really great as well. So we've got a couple things coming up. Yeah, Flashback. I mean, I don't think that any Summer of Arcade announcements are ever going to be as exciting as when it was like Shadow Complex and
Gosh, Shadow
Bastion.
Complex was so good.
Shadow Complex or Bastion or Insanely
was so
Twisted
fucking
Shadow
good.
Planet, or like there's so many really really good arcade titles that it's every time I think about it, I'm like, yeah, Blood Dragon. Like I think to myself, I'm
Call
like,
of Juarez, man.
how are they going to top this? So like I really want to see that some of the ones that are coming out are going to be that good. I remember, you know, when I saw the ad, I didn't remember Flashback at all, but then I saw your 365 games video of classic Flashback, and I remember playing
just because I heard that the new one's
it. Yeah, I do remember actually playing it on the Genesis. So now I'm more excited. I mean, it looked cool when I saw the ad for it, but I'm excited all over again.
Yeah.
Afresh.
Yes. All right. So, for me, like I said, I've pretty much just been playing one game the last couple weeks, and they tease me, John, because they only let me play on the weekends.
Life is hard, man.
Until this week, when they reopen the servers on Wednesday. And that's Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. Now, I want to talk about first how much I hated Final Fantasy XIV when it first released. Because I was so excited about it. Because, you know, I played Final Fantasy XI for so fucking long. And I'm going to catch shit for this, I'm sure, if anybody watches this and has played it or is an MMO fan. I believe Final Fantasy XI was the greatest MMO ever made. I played the shit out of it. I did like almost everything, you know, that you could do in the game. I was in a link.
Well, and that's all. You know, that's only because they've stupid phone in my hand. That's only because they haven't made a Dune MMO.
Well, right. Even my problem is when they make a Dune MMO, they're gonna fuck it up. You can't really fuck up Final Fantasy because you're
unless they call me in and have me as a consultant on the fucking planning. Yeah, they're gonna fuck it up.
In any case, so yeah, Final Fantasy XI was amazing. So when 14 was announced, we were all super excited. Even though I had quit Final Fantasy XI for a while already, we were all super excited. I jumped on the pre-order, pre-ordered it, and Nick from Industrial Strength Gaming, one of our bros, was in the beta, and he said the beta was great. And then the game came out, and I hated it. And I got like Jared to play it with me. I was playing with Nick's brother, and I hated the game. I played it for 3 weeks, and I was like, I'm done. And I'm not the only one, because for like an entire year, maybe even more, they didn't even make people pay the subscription fee because they knew that their game sucked.
Well, they effectively were issuing
they
were issuing an apology for all the shitty.
So when Nick told me about A Realm Reborn, he told me that it was just like a content update, and they had been changing the game and working on it. He didn't tell me that there was a new producer and director. He just said that they made a lot of changes to the game, and I was like, whatever. It's 14. That sucks. But then I got the beta invite in the mail. So I fired it up, and I played it for like an hour, and I was totally hooked. And I've played almost all of my waking moments not at work or shitting. And I would do it if I was shitting, if it would run on my laptop, but it won't. It's a fucking amazing game. They've overhauled the entire game. The only thing that is the same in the game is like characters and the setting. The story's all different. The combat mechanics are different. The crafting's relatively the same, but the crafting in the first release was badass anyway. It's, you know, you're really engaged and whatever. You don't play MMOs, you don't care. But but you're gonna play this one with me, John. Listen,
you keep saying that, but I keep thinking about how I haven't even had time to purchase a bed yet for the place I'm moving to tomorrow.
You're gonna do that tomorrow. It'll be great. And that brings me to my next point, which is I'm totally happy you asked. It's not set up like Final Fantasy XI, where you couldn't do anything by yourself, and everything you did took hours and hours and hours. I mean, shit, I played it for 5.5 years, and I still didn't do everything that I needed to do to make my dude awesome. You can just pick it up, play for like 10 minutes, and actually get something done. I mean, it's that kind of game where it's...
That's a shame, because I really enjoyed standing around playing with my testicles in the middle of a city full of other fucking players who are also standing around playing with their testicles and not doing anything to help anybody else.
Yeah. You don't have to do that anymore. But
so now I can get someone else to play with my testicles. Fantastic.
Right. Well, so the beta phase 3, the end of phase 3 is actually tonight. So in phase 4 is an open beta, and it's going to start in a couple weeks. It's going to go for about a week, I think, and that's when you should check it out, because you don't have to pay for it. It's free. It's a beta, and who knows, you might actually really have fun with it. Like I told you, the story in it, in my opinion, is better than a lot of the most recent Final Fantasies. Yes, it is.
Side note here, as we were talking about Final Fantasy, you mentioned
not 12.
Nick,
Don't give me.
and you mentioned Nick, and I talked with Nick at length on Friday when I stopped at the bar about Final Fantasy 13, and
yeah,
he actually really enjoyed the story for 13, and he purchased 13-2.
John,
he's playing the shit out of it.
The reason he enjoyed it is because he didn't have to play it.
Right, but he's enjoying the shit out of playing 13-2.
Which is weird.
Which is not even as good as 13.
And the first one's not even that good until chapter 11. Then it becomes an amazing game, but you have to slog through all those chapters to get to it.
Yeah.
In any case, we're starting with 14. It's cool. Moving on.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
That's really all I've been fucking playing. And as a matter of fact, it's kind of why we were almost a little late today, is because I was playing it.
I did say that you were gonna
actually, and this is not what Tony's talking about in the chat, but I caught a glimpse of PS4 on there. The servers, it's coming out for PC and PS3 on August 27th. And the servers it's cross-platform servers. So if you're on PS3 and I'm on PC, we can play together. And the graphics don't look that different, because a lot of people are pissed off about this, because Final Fantasy 14, like the original release, was one of the best looking games I've ever seen in my life. And they downscaled the graphics so that the PS3 could handle it, and they're still amazing. They're still better than any other MMO out there. But people are bitching about it because the graphics are different. It used to be all open world, no load screens, and now there's load screens. Like it's portioned into zones, like Final Fantasy 11 was, if you remember that. So,
yeah,
but that's
what you got to do, man. That happens. Tony, the answer to your query is that ideally we'd like to get both.
Yeah.
I think
I'm going to jump on each one on launch day, as long as they're not super close together.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be within a month of each other. It really depends on my finances. I think that I've pretty much decided that I'm getting an Xbox One first, because of
Titanfall.
Actually, this is that's gonna tie into what I wanted to talk about for our top 5 for tonight. But
Titanfall is fucking amazing.
Titanfall is a selling point for me. I mean, yeah, you probably should get both. But Tony, if you haven't watched anything about Titanfall, it's without doubt. I've seen a lot of talk online that a lot of people are in agreement, actually, that it was the best unveil at E3 this year. Titanfall.
Well, dude, I mean, I guess, but I think for us it was Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess maybe they weren't counting Metal Gear 5 because
it's in a class of its own. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, because things had been already.
It is
really news about it had already been released before E3, and like it wasn't like, oh shit, we had no idea that it was in development. Like, there's been updates. Like, I believe there was a big announcement video like 3 or 4 months ago where they actually, admitted that it was the game or whatever, after having it called the Phantom Pain forever. But Titanfall, I mean, it was one of those, we knew that Respawn was working on a game since they split off from Infinity Ward. We had no idea what that IP.
We were worried it was going to be another generic military shooter, because that's
right. It was. We were worried that it was going to be a knockoff, but we knew it was a new IP. And then when the E3 coverage went out, like, everybody else was like up in arms about all the different policies that Microsoft was adopting that they've now abandoned, which is fine. But all I saw was Titanfall, because it was like Call of Duty with Max added to it,
Which
and
is awesome.
in the sexiest way that you could ever see it happen. Like
Yeah, not like tall, slow, clunky mechs either, which is really what gets it for me, because we're both in agreement that when it comes to giant robots, like fast humanoid shaped giant robots are awesome.
Right. So, I mean, at that moment, like I looked at the exclusive titles for the respective consoles, and Titanfall wins it. I mean, it's I've rewatched the gameplay footage probably a dozen times just because it looks so fucking fantastic.
Goody and I were talking about that on Wednesday. The PS4 for launch titles anyway is going to have Infamous, I believe.
Infamous Second Son, yeah.
And Shadowfall, which is Killzone.
Killzone, yeah.
Great, amazing games. They're going to be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Infamous games and I love the Killzone games, but
I don't think they hold a candle to Titanfall.
Like, yeah, when you watch those Titanfall videos, it looks like the game that's going to set a new standard for FPS gaming. I mean,
I just hope that all like the super Call of Duty fanboys aren't going to be like, well, it's not Call of Duty, so I don't like it.
No, I hope that those people do say that so that they're not in the games fucking filling the game servers with assholes.
I see what you're getting at there, but the game needs as big of a player base as possible.
No, I get it. It does need to be player base.
We need those assholes in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so we can mute them and
look.
Laugh
Let's
about
be
it.
realistic
And
here.
We need people with stupid names so we can make fun of them.
I will happily take Tony Two Time. I will happily take the Call of Duty community and play Titanfall against them as long as the Halo community stays the fuck away from me.
They'll be playing Destiny.
Right.
And I will be playing Destiny as well because I think it looks fucking cool. But we've already talked about all these games, and we don't really have new information.
No, but I think that it's important stuff to note. I mean, we're getting these questions about people as to what we're going to buy. I think the Titanfall won it for me. Especially once Microsoft reversed their position on things, which we talked about, and we were sure they probably were going to do something any fucking way. So everybody else was freaking out, and we were, well, you didn't think it was going to change.
I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
Everybody's making fun of them for being like, oh, Microsoft 180, but it's a good thing that they did that. So.
Like I said last night, both launch edition consoles are sold out on Amazon.
That was Xbox 180, not Microsoft 180.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, both launch edition consoles are sold out on Amazon for pre-order. Yeah. So they went from like only having 4% of sales versus like massive PS4 numbers to sold out right along with the PS4.
Yeah, because that's the only thing that was holding them back. They got rid of that asshole Don Matrick because I'm going to go on record right now to say that I think that it was all his idea. All this DRM and always online shit was his idea because he was the head of the Microsoft Entertainment division. And then they went back on it and changed it, and then like 2 days later he leaves for Zynga. Come on. Obviously it was his idea. And they were like, dude, your idea was stupid, so you should probably go find another
They were like,
job.
dude, you almost completely destroyed us as a corporation. You should probably look into that offer you got from that shitty fucking Facebook game company.
Yeah. Because, I mean, look, Microsoft's
I'm sure that you have some
really recently.
They're like, look, dude, I think you probably have some really revolutionary ideas for Farmville that you should really implement there.
So Microsoft's getting a lot of shit recently because it's still apparently popular to make fun of them for decisions that they've already changed. So it's dumb to make fun of them now, but people do it anyway. So they're getting a lot of shit, but it's still a fucking AAA. It's one of the big three. It's it's Microsoft. So leaving one of those for Zynga, I mean, come on, dude.
I know how
Despite the fact that the Zynga is making shit tons of money because of their stupid fucking games, but it's either like I even said this in one of the 365 games videos. I would rather be like a janitor in the Microsoft Xbox division than the CEO of fucking Zynga. Just for
it just occurred to me that Tony was trying to find out what Josh is going to purchase. Josh, are you going to get one of the next gen consoles? He's poor. He's poor and he's 17, and he's busy spending all of his money on hero clicks.
Where do you see that? Because my chat.
It says, he asked what we were buying. We told him. He said word, and then he said unit. Threesome.
Okay, right. I thought.
Yeah, I think that Josh will probably end up. If Josh gets a console, it'll probably be the X-Bone, because the 360 has done him really well over the years, in much the same way that it's done for us. And I think that Josh will want to keep on board for our Battlefield Squade.
Yeah.
He's going to need to be our guy there. So, yeah, he's going to fight to be in the whatever community we're in. So,
like a good little sheep.
right, like a squire is supposed to do.
Yeah. So yeah.
So, Titanfall, all these things, and you know what? Finally, we're going to do an episode that is actually an hour or less, which is going to be fantastic, which we fight for all the time. Yes. We started like 15 minutes late.
Did we talk about everything we were going to talk about?
We're going to go into the top 5, and then we're wrapping it up. Yeah, I think so.
Anything else we were going to talk about?
We were, you were going to talk about...
It feels like we didn't talk about a whole lot of stuff.
We talked about a lot of stuff. I put up that you were going to talk a little bit about your 365 gaming experience, but you have a little bit.
It's fun. I'm actually... It's making my game library... You know, it's fleshing it out. I'm trying not
Lucky
to,
for you.
I'm trying
Lucky
not to
for
say
you.
a phrase that you're going to run with, as like if that's what she said. Look,
It's a gift,
it's
man.
making my game library big.
Jeez.
So that's cool. I'm actually playing a lot of games that I wouldn't have normally played just because, you know, it's like, oh man, I got to do a video today. This one.
So are you hitting up the? Are you right now pulling a lot of things from the Steam sale that's running?
Yeah,
Did you buy
the Fallouts. I bought the Fallouts.
Strike
today.
Suit Zero?
I bought Strike Suit Zero and Strike Suit Infinity, but I didn't buy any
okay
DLC.
the mega bundle? You got the Mendel bundle? Did you get the mega bundle?
No, I bought them separately for like $1.50 each.
Oh, okay.
I bought Dark Souls, even though I've already played it on Xbox. It's like the Prepare to Die edition. Apparently, it's harder. So I got that. I got The Binding of Isaac, which I've already done a video of, which is a really amazing game, by the way. What else did I get? I got The Last Remnant, another game that I played on the Xbox, but it was like $3, and it's actually a pretty alright game.
You should have picked up Bastion. That one was only like $2.50 the other day.
Yeah, I should have. It's some other games that I can't. I was just going through, and if it was a game that I'd heard about or looks relatively fun, I picked it up as long as it was cheap. So I got a lot of games, and I don't. How long does the summer sale usually go?
Who knows?
Well,
honestly, I feel like Steam spends less time not having sales than they spend having sales.
That's true.
So.
Well, you know, because they have a sale every day. They
Right,
have a
but
weekly sale of generally 2 games.
Every
and then a daily
like
sale.
every other month they have like a big event where they have like massive sales.
Well, maybe Xbox Live and PlayStation Network should fucking take a note.
Right. Speaking of which, where the fuck are my free games, Microsoft? You said you were going to give me 2 free fucking AAA titles in July.
Yeah.
They're not out
Did
yet.
they?
This is bullshit.
Well,
Yeah.
We're only halfway through, man. Give 'em
They said that they were going to have one available at the beginning and one available in the middle. Assassin's Creed 2 never became available, and still waiting on Halo 3 to become available.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 that were supposed to be out. I already have Assassin's Creed 2, but I was going to get Halo.
Hold on.
That that tower defense game was free.
Nick
I got
is
that.
sending me messages, and I have because he probably doesn't know that we changed our time, so I'm telling him to stop sending me messages. So,
Bastion
you can hear him on the show.
Bastion is 7.49 right now. You should camp on it because it'll get cheap.
Camp on it.
Throw it on your wish list so that you get notification when it goes on sale.
All right, I'll do that.
But yeah, I mean, I would think.
And the Borderlands 2 season pass is super cheap right now too. Yesterday it was $10, and I didn't get it, and I should have. I don't know if it's still $10.
Probably not.
Because I have the season pass for Xbox, but not PC. And what's funny about that
It's $10, yeah.
I bought the only thing that's not on the season pass already.
It was Krieg.
Which is Krieg.
Which is also on sale, yeah.
So if I bought the season pass, I'd get all that content that I haven't already paid for. So that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, well, I'll do that right now. Just just for grins.
You don't have it? I thought you had it.
No, not on PC. I have it all elsewhere. I figure, whatever. So let's go into our top 5, though. I mean, we've
all right. Yes.
We've had a wank fest about the Steam sale, which is important. So I mean, let's say in honor of Titanfall, last minute I came up with a great top 5. I think a great top 5. And that top 5 was, as I said, in honor of Titanfall. I wanted to do a discussion of the top 5 games involving mechs. And actually, when I brought it up, as you recall, I did this amazing thing where I went through what would be on the list, things that I would say, and I named things that you would say.
And I was like, yep. So
because that is actually my job.
Pretty much, this top 5 is all orchestrated by Providence.
Yeah, well, I'm the guy that's crazy about mechs.
I just gave the go-ahead. I was like, yep, that's totally what I would say.
Well, the first one, I guess what I'll do is I'll tell you the ones that I have that I wrote for you, and you can talk about why you like them, because I know you're nuts about them.
I could just say them. I know what they are.
Chrome Hounds was the first one on the list, and
I actually had you remember you bought Chrome Hounds on my
right, and we did play a little bit. We had trouble getting a good crew together.
Yes, because by the time you got into it, the community was gone.
Yeah,
and they had changed a lot of stuff that I used to love about it, and like a week later they closed the servers down.
Right.
Which made your Chrome Hounds worthless. But in its heyday, it was a fucking amazing game. I met a lot of my Xbox Live friends on it, because if you haven't played it, it was like not an online only, but it was ridiculously stupid offline. It was just like training missions offline. But it was, squads of mechs going against other squads of mechs and like having an objective, like each side would have 3 bases and they all look the same, and one of them is the real base, and if you blow it up you win, things like that. There was just or you could either just kill everybody on the other team. I know that there was another guy in the squad that we ran with, because you could have like clans. I don't remember what they're called. I think they were just called like companies or something like that. But so there was another guy, like Zephyr used to play with me all the time on that. We were in the same company. There was another guy that I don't necessarily remember his gamer tag, because this was fucking years ago, where we played artillery guys. We weren't like up close guys.
Yeah, you'd hang back and yeah.
We almost every map we had coordinates memorized, and like height and like elevation and heading to bombard each base without having to get into the fight. So we would run straight to those areas and just start firing on the bases, and we won shit tons of matches that way. Got our company, like, I don't remember if it's called a company, but regardless, we got, I think it was just called squads. We got our squad like ranked really high in the global ranking, because our matches were like a minute long sometimes, and always result in a win. And it was like the servers for that were crossed with the Japanese servers.
Was there
back when Japanese people actually liked the Xbox?
Was there a in-game voice chat, or did you
only on teams? Yeah, you couldn't talk to the other team.
Okay.
But because I played Final Fantasy XI for so long, which was also U.S. servers and Japanese servers, I actually had Japanese phrases that I had learned to talk to, because I worked third shift. So when I played, my prime time playing was Japanese prime time. So I would send the squad members of the other teams messages like this, and it's ridiculous how like polite and respectful a lot of Japanese players are, to the point where if you even attempt to communicate with them, they're like, fuck yeah, this guy's, he's not just some douchebag. So it got to the point where we were sending like voice messages back and forth, like talking to guys that we had just played a match against and stomped, and only because we had that artillery thing. But it was
the
really
international
cool.
Language.
Well, I mean, they spoke English, but
the language of love.
Oh.
Love, the language of love.
Well, we didn't know. Um,
All right. Yeah. So Chrome Huns, clearly you love it.
So
Fantastic.
yeah, and it was fun, and
We have 4 more on this list, though, David.
right. But I'm dragging. I don't want us to win. I don't want us to win and only have an hour-long show.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Bottom line, it was great.
Yeah, Chrome Hounds. And like you said, I mean, I played a little bit, but it was already kind of on the decline by the time I got my.
It was declined. It was not on the decline. It was at the bottom.
So I didn't really have the opportunity to have that enjoyment. So the next on the list is one that I
remember, people, our top fives aren't ordered. If you're in the top 5, they're all equal.
Right. So the game that I put on, I already talked about a little bit tonight. Armored Core 4 Answer, and I say that I go with 4 Answer because there have been a lot of Armored Core games. Right. There have been enough that they stopped.
And Armored Core games have been featured in previous top 5s. That's how much we like Armored Core.
It may not have things like Strung, who's a classic one, and it may not have Ultimate 9-Ball, or stuff like that. But I think that
have an arena.
No, I don't think so. No, but I think in a lot of ways, 4 Answer was the Armored Core game that always was meant to be, but technology prevented it.
Right.
It was most fast-paced.
Yeah, it was fast.
You didn't have
previous Armored Core games weren't.
Your AC auto boosts. You don't have to hold down that boost button or watch your energy gauge to be able to boost. You can do your hyper boost thing.
Yeah, your actual boost made you fly.
Yeah. So in a lot of ways it's everything that an Armored Core game always should have been, and it's really sad because when they made Armored Core 5, they moved away from all those elements of 4 Answer.
Interestingly enough, that's because Armored Core 5 was basically Chrome Hounds 2.
Right.
They played exactly the same way, but updated graphics and engine and whatnot.
So I mean,
because they were made by the same company. Just throwing that out there from software.
An amazing variety of parts to build some really great designs that were not only like effective and functional, but also very cool looking, which is, as we already said, really important. The paint customization, the stabilizer edition, that looked really, really great. Like
the different regulations would put.
Right, the regulation sets that you could change.
Because when they made updates, they didn't change the game, they changed the regulation so that if you didn't like that update, you could just go to a previous regulation from in-game, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. The regulations affect the performance of different parts, different AC parts, like booster output or
infinite boost
or
infinite energy, what it was.
Energy drain, stuff like that. So I mean, as a whole, I think, and then they incorporated the co-op missions, which I had always hoped that there would be something like that for Armored Core, and they incorporated that into the Arms Fort missions, where you were taking out these huge mobile fortresses like Spirit of Motherwell that I mentioned earlier. And yeah, it's some of the most epic mech combat I've ever seen in a game, and it's really hard. It's really hard for me to imagine that it's ever going to be topped. I think it was the pinnacle of that style of game.
Yeah.
Which is why I still throw it in an AC test once in a while and go, fuck yeah, man! I made a really fucking kick-ass mech
in the little virtual reality area. Yeah.
No, it's not in that one. It's like out in the desert with like the city that's like half sunken in sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot there that I'm really happy about, and that is obviously why I keep going back to it, which is why I keep saying that you and I are going to do a Spirit of Motherworld video at some point. But before I do that, I'm going to get some fucking practice because I'm really, really rusty with it.
You've played it even more than I have because I haven't played it since I got rid of it.
All right, next on the list is one of your favorite all-time favorites, all-time multi-genre favorites.
All-time favorite game, yes, Xenogears.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing game, and it's an RPG where you can jump into a mech. I mean, you can't really it's not, the combat's not that much different when you're in the mech, other than like you have fuel and you can do like super attacks and shit. But the fact is, most of the game centers around the gears, and that's badass. the giant fucking mechs where you fight giant monsters or other mechs. Or
And you use them to kill God.
You can, yes, and you use them to kill God. You can stomp on soldiers and shit. I mean, it's fucking cool. And an RPG.
And that came out like, was it late, like 99 or 2000 or something like that?
You know,
it was late. I
believe it was 99, but I think I could be wrong on that. I think it might have been.
Oh, did I? And actually, interesting detail. I was reading a lot about old Square titles, and I think I told you that.
Look, I'm actually using my Xenogears copy as the stand for my my camera. And I was just gonna check the date on it, but I can't because it's holding my camera.
Yeah. Well, I think I told you that I had just recently read that Xenogears was actually written to be seriously, you've never heard of Xenogears? Tony, what the fuck?
It's an old
Go on PlayStation Network and buy it.
You can get it on PlayStation Network. It's an old SquareSoft RPG. Fucking
it's Xenogears with an X.
It is my favorite RPG of all time.
Though what I recently learned was that the plot was when Xenogears was originally in development, it was actually in development to be Final Fantasy VII, and Square actually said that the plot was too dark for their flagship series, and that they should develop it as its own title separately, which is a really interesting thing. I mean, to consider that game nearly replace Final Fantasy VII, and I know everybody's got like a giant waving boner about Final Fantasy VII, but how much happier would we be if that was
you
Final
and
Fantasy
I
VII?
would be fucking ecstatic, but I know that there's going to be a lot of fanboys who are going to disagree with us because Final Fantasy VII is so great and Sephiroth is awesome. You know.
I don't know, man. There's what's his name, Banderas, who looks like Blanca. He's pretty badass.
Rico?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rico's awesome.
Rico Banderas, right?
Yeah. And speaking of, Xenogears has been featured in a couple of our top 5s as well.
Yeah.
For good guy characters, which I believe Rico was in, and music. Because
no, I think you went with Faye.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember. It was so long ago, bro. The opening music when it's going through like the story up till now type of thing, and it's just a text box. The opening music for that is one of my favorites. So that was in last episode because we did music last episode, right?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah, probably. I have weird lists here in my notes. Well, the next one on the list is I think I'm going to do 2 titles because they sort of are one long contiguous title.
Oh, yeah.
Zone of the Enders 1 and 2.
You could just say the series.
Zone of the Enders 1 and 2 because it's one long story. Very, very clearly one long story, being that you don't even
it starts
really fight Nomen and you don't really fight Nomen until the second game at all.
Yeah.
It has fun things like the cockpit of the orbital frame is literally in the cock of the orbital frame.
Yeah. It even pokes out like one. Just saying.
But you start out there's the AI that is super rigid, ornery, stupid AI, and the obnoxious little kid pilot, and then you get through that first game, which is
he is so
like
fucking but annoying, but like
Leo.
Back then they always made main characters like that. Faye is like that in Xenogears for a while. He's like a pacifist until some shit happens where he realizes he's got to, step up.
Well, they fixed that stuff with Zone of the Enders though, because I've always like looking back. I like to joke about how the first game is sort of like a bench test for what they intended to do with the second game. So then you get into the second game, and they're like, well, we know that you thought that stupid fucking kid in the first game was annoying, so we gave you this badass dude.
Yeah, Dingo.
Who used to be we give you Dingo Egret, who used to be a terrorist, and now he's a fucking miner on one of the moons of Mars or whatever.
Also in a previous top 5.
Yeah. And, you upgrade Jehute through the course of the game.
We like to call him Jehudi.
Yeah. Jehudi's a great fucking mech. It's a really cool design.
Anubis is cool.
Anubis is amazing. You get a lot of great mech combat, and it's with Kojima's storytelling. I mean, it's for me like one of the most perfect blends.
Yeah, that's what sells it, is the fact that he makes amazing stories.
Yeah, and it's it's anime cutscenes and stuff. It's oh god. If you're a fan of mechs or Kojima, like I generally recommend it. Like Pastic hadn't played it, and he went and scored a copy of the HD collection and was like, "Holy shit! How did I never fucking play this game?" Yeah. It's I will always say that Zone of the Enders, man. It changed my life. Changed my life.
Yep.
I'm a different person. I'm
And
like twice the man I was before.
When I moved here, you played it on my PS2, right? Or did you?
I had a PS2 by then.
Because I remember bringing it, and that's when we both played it together. So I played it right before I came out, but it's whatever. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. That's one of those weird situations where it was a PS2 launch title, and I didn't play it, and
P.F. Chang's Sweet and Sour Chicken.
Dude, yes, P.F. Chang's Sweet and Sour Chicken changed my fucking life. Now I want some. It's like one of my favorite things in the world.
And John doesn't like chicken.
Son of a bitch, that makes me fucking furious. I want some fucking P.F. Chang's Sweet and Sour Chicken. Anyway, that was one of those rare circumstances where the first game was just old enough when we played it that we looked and it was like, oh, son of a bitch, the sequel just came out like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So we got to play them like really close together, which was awesome. Now the last one on the list, I don't know.
Yes, and this is when I first bought my PS2 many years ago. It was one of the first games I got. It is an alternate timeline World War II game called Ring of Red, and it's fought with mobile tanks. It's basically mechs. They're not like humanoid looking, and it's a turn-based strategy game. But when you attack, it goes into cockpit view and it shows you the attack. Like it's animated, so it's really cool. It's got a really cool story. The main character kind of looks cool. He reminds me of Roy Batty.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
you mean the one of the greatest actors?
No, I'm gonna say Roy Batty because that actor has never looked like that again.
Mm-hmm. Man, he was good in Split Second.
Shut up! You always bring that movie up. Look, I think that his two best roles were Blade Runner and Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
What about Salem's Lot? The remake of Salem's Lot, he was really good in.
It was okay, it was good, but in any case, yeah. So Ring of Red, it's like I said, alternate timeline, World War II, and it's mechs, like with old style weaponry, like inaccurate cannons, and reload the cannon each time, things like that. And it's turn-based strategy, so it's like it's kind of like playing Front Mission.
Okay, all right. Which, as an honorable mention, I will say that like Front Mission 4, we both thought was a really, really great game, and we had a lot of fun with it.
And some MechWarrior games, but most of them aren't.
I know that we like Front Mission 4 because they were really into calling them Wanzers.
Wanzers.
Yeah. And then in Front Mission Evolved, they just like straight up don't give a shit, and they just call them Wanzers. Which is like, dude, you lost all of the all the fun of calling them Wanzers. And obviously there are a number of other great mech games, and you can really stretch it and be like, well, this is kind of a mech game, so it counts. And like,
right, but see, that's the whole thing. Is like we can't just start naming off mech games because it's top 5.
Right. Yeah, and that is that, proverbially at least. That's a pretty good top 5, I think. I mean, and it's like I said, it's in honor of Titanfall. I'm really hoping to see that Titanfall muscles its way into that position, into one of those spots there.
I agree.
But I think that we've got some things to look forward to.
John,
I mean, we've got.
Hold on. we forgot a really important one that it needs to be put on the honorable mention list.
No, Tony. David, in fact, did mention Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I did.
He did.
I just didn't remember the character's name.
Lothos.
We forgot a game that's very important, and it's going to go on the honorable mention list. MS Saga. I think MS Saga is better than Ring of Red, so we should probably muscle it in there.
MS Saga is one of the greatest late
Fucking
PS2
great
titles
game.
ever. And it got shit on because they
Because it's JRPG, first of all.
well, there's that, but then they everybody complained that they made a Gundam RPG, and they were like, "Oh, finally, you make a Gundam RPG where you can customize pieces and stuff." But of course, you make them all SD Gundams, and which, come on, people, the reason they had to do that is so that they could get like a common.
Josh's hair is just hanging out in the shot.
Okay, nice. He's giving me a cookie, bro.
Oh, nice.
The reason that they had to do it that way is because the different scale on all of the mech designs, they can only get them to match up if they pushed them all into one common
Gundams
structure.
aren't all the same size. Yeah.
But, I mean, it has everything that a Gundam series usually has that makes it awesome.
A masked villain.
It's got a masked villain who turns out being a good guy and is awesome.
Yeah.
It's got plot twists. It's got, betrayal, and it's got a young pilot with stupid girl hair and pants that don't fit him. It's got annoying supporting cast, like that stupid Fritz, who wears a bucket helmet and vest with a big collar.
Yeah.
And Gavinger, who looks like he's wearing a mushroom cap on his head. And little Joe Pesci sunglasses from the Moonwalker video.
Yeah.
It's like the character design is totally ridiculous, but Hal Vizart has got a pimp ass name, and then when he takes his mask off, he's Vladdy Zarth, which is also kick ass.
Yeah. Good times.
But yeah, that's a great game. I'm really glad that you mentioned it. The Fat Gundams are kick ass. Yeah, that's a game that I would love to see get a re-release, but being that it didn't do well enough to get a sequel like they had planned when they originally made it, I don't expect to see a re-release of it at any time.
Yeah.
I have a physical copy of it. I think when I ordered it, they didn't have it. I didn't even order it. Delta actually yelled at me when I went to buy a copy at our GameStop over there, because she's like, you know that there's not going to be a lot of copies of this game here, and you knew you were going to buy it. You should have pre-ordered it, and then we would have had one here for you. And I was like, I'm
sorry.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. And she's like, well, now maybe we can find a store that has a copy if you're lucky, which she did. But I think like most GameStops when it came out were getting like 1 or 2 copies. They got almost no promo or anything. It was just a weird anomalous sort of game.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it until you were like, "Hey, you should check this out." Let me borrow it.
And a lot like a lot of the games that we talk about, like, it wasn't reinventing the wheel. It was taking a very classic, standard sort of game structure and just running with it.
Look at the chat.
Yeah, if only Josh would have bought the Gundam Dynasty Warriors game, he totally would have flexed his nerd muscles for the cute GameStop girl.
Yep.
Yeah, he loves her, he says. And Tony, I bet if he had done those things, he would have a really kick-ass pair of blue boots, too. That's the rumor, at least.
No.
But, yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up here. For not having a lot of content, we really filled up the show. And thanks, David. You ran it past an hour. Because
sure, it's mission accomplished.
Tony, you're the man. I'm not going to tell him that you said that, though.
I can see it. It's right there. It's right. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, guys.
Tony, if you can fit you into that box to ship here, though, that'd be pretty good too, because we need you to come drink beer with us.
Well, we also want you to fit Amy in there too.
Yeah, but if it has to be just one of you, we'd prefer it's you so that you can drink beer with us.
Huge freaking box. So yeah. Anyway, this was a pretty sweet episode, especially coming back from not doing one for a while. I'm glad we actually got the time to talk about am.psych, because we haven't done that in the show yet.
Right. And I'm looking forward to some of the fun stuff we're going to be able to do starting next week with the new setup.
Gonna get ourselves a green screen or something. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, we'll do that. I mean, I'm going to buy some nice. Once I actually start getting paid at my new job, I'm going to buy some nice lighting, and we're gonna put some lipstick on this pig. Is kind of what I'm thinking.
Yes. So, in any case, you can always find us on Facebook.com/VirtualBromance, and you can hit up am.psych stuff there as well, just /am.psych. We have a channel, YouTube.com/VirtualBromance. Jump on there, watch some videos, check out some of the series. We have like 3 to 65 games. We put all these videos on YouTube the next day.
There's a lot of Aliens, Colonial Marines action.
Yes, there are Aliens, Colonial Marines action.
There's my Deadpool review is up there. If you're interested in watching that, I recommend it.
And there are several unfinished game playthroughs because I realized that the game sucked and didn't upload the rest of them. And then there's the 365 games, and then there's our Battlefield videos, which I think are super fun to watch.
Yeah.
So jump on there, throw a couple likes on some of the videos, subscribe if you haven't, because, cool guys, subscribe. And then we also, you can check us out on Twitter. To be honest, most of the Twitter stuff is just automatic tweets when I upload a video, but
but hey, if you can follow on Twitter, then you'll get the updates when the stuff goes on. So.
And a better way to keep in touch with us is on Facebook, because we actually do stuff on Facebook a lot. So.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in. We should have the episode up on YouTube in the next day or so, and
tomorrow,
yeah, we'll be looking forward to next Sunday with the new layout.
Yes, remember, Sundays at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Or is it Central Daylight Savings? It's whatever.
Whatever.
We live in Milwaukee.
CST, man.
You can figure it out. It'll be okay.
So I don't remember what that is for the Aussies, but we should probably mention that because we do have some Aussies that watch.
I believe it's like
1 in the afternoon or some shit.
Yeah, 1 in the afternoon or something like that. Yeah. Given that, thanks for tuning in to Virtual Bromance. This is Providence and
Restless Corpse.
we are signing off now. Do it. Kill it. Kill it now. Kill it now.
I don't want to. All right. Take it easy, guys.